Hello, this is Burton.
Hello, Burton. It's Rowan from Silver Tiger Media. How are you?
I'm all right, man. How you doing?
I'm really well, thank you. It's a pleasure to speak with you, and thank you very much for your time.
You're welcome. Thanks for calling.
Pleasure. We are thrilled that you're performing at the upcoming Soundwave Festival. Firstly, congratulations on such a brilliant career. The start of Fear Factory in 1989 to 1990 must seem like such a long time ago, and you were there right throughout.
Yeah, it does seem like a long time ago, and when I think back, it seems like it's flown by. 24 years, it's like flown by. But it's been an interesting journey. Some ups and downs, and some ups agains, and I'm proud to be like the one guy who's been with us since the very beginning.
Absolutely. Do you recall when you first decided to get into music? When did you decide it was your thing?
When I decided it was my thing?
Yeah.
I knew even before I was in a band
Yes.
that I would never have like a typical job. I would never be like a 9-to-5er. I'd never be like a suit, wearing a suit going to work. I even dropped out of art school after I dropped out of art school to move to California, and I just always knew that I'd be, some type of entertainer, some type of artist, and that's, and once Fear Factory started, I knew, it was like, yep, this is it. It's like, this is what I want to do, and so pretty much ever since the beginning, even before the beginning, I knew this was part of my destiny. It's kind of weird.
Oh, fantastic, and I'd love to take your lead. If I can avoid going 9 to 5, I'm happy.
Exactly. I'll do what I have to do. If it comes to that, but I'll do all the necessary things to try not to let that happen. But if I have to do it, I would do it.
Indeed. Your voice is so intense, but your diversity between clean and growling is such an immense skill. Where does that come from? Is it just something you always had?
Yeah, I guess so. It's even, it's the way I just vocalize myself. I don't, when Fear Factory started, the band I was in before was a very aggressive style, but Fear Factory, the music allowed me to be a bit more aggressive. But when I write about things, I write about things that I'm passionate about, that I truly feel strongly about. And so, it's not screaming for the sake of screaming. Or vocalizing for the sake of screaming. It's because I'm truly representing what's coming out of my soul. And so it's not just screaming because that's the style. It's screaming because, fuck. Just like sick of so much shit. It's like it's therapy for me.
Indeed, and it comes across so clearly in your talent. You've signed with Nuclear Blast, which we followers are really, really happy about. Your upcoming album's eagerly awaited in Australia. Can I ask you briefly about the upcoming album?
It's we're still working on it. It's taking longer than expected, but it's classic Fear Factory sounds. It's going to be a classic Fear Factory record. What fans have always expected, but I think we have because we're taking our time, the songs are really well crafted without losing the edge or the angst, without losing the true essence of Fear Factory, but it's like well crafted songs. We're working on an album cover right now. We got, we reconnected with artist Dave McKeon, who did the album cover for Demanufacture and Obsolete.
Yes.
Hopefully, he's working on something. We have an album title that we're happy with, and that I think really represents a good Fear Factory title. So,
indeed.
Yeah.
Is there a particular? Sorry,
Burton.
Burton, just a slight delay there. My apologies. Is there a particular subject focus of this album?
It's of course it's based on a science fiction, which is usually futuristic concept. And it's bringing the concept of man versus machine around again. But this time, the way I'm thinking about it is that the machine is fully cognitive and fully just understands where its place is and what it needs to do. So it's like the machine has very human qualities now.
Right. That's a lovely turn of phrase you used before, the angst that comes through in the music. Is this going to differ at all from previous works?
Not at all. There's still so much angst that I deal with. Things happen, in our lives and in our lives and around our lives on a daily basis. And I consider myself a rather patient man, but still, things can still bother you and annoy you and frustrate you and just become a little overbearing. So all these aspects of what we deal with in life in general are still part of the Fear Factory concept.
Absolutely. And you give such a tremendous outlet for people experiencing that in their own lives. Do you feel any appreciation for that? I feel honored when people come up to me and say that the music and the words, everything about Fear Factory has inspired them, has helped them through some dark times, helped them through some rough patches, and I feel like as an artist, I succeeded in a way where I was able to connect with a young person or just a person in general creatively, and our creation was able to help them be, as much as it's my therapy, it became their therapy too. And so I feel like that's successful to me. And so I'm very honored, I'm very proud, and I feel like I've contributed very positively into the world. So, indeed, and
proud of.
I have to admit that I'm often caught at the lights listening to the industrialist moshing away behind the steering wheel.
Yeah, there's some good tracks on that record too.
Absolutely. Is there anything particularly you like most about the album so far?
I think the songs that has been written are just really good. They're very inspirational, and so for me, the challenge is to now bring vocals and melodies that can rise up to the great music that is also written. So, I feel like I'm doing a really good job so far, and just trying to come up with very, words that are very poignant, that are very, thought-provoking, but not confusing, and just melodies that people can resonate with.
Oh, magnificent. Look, you're going to have a massive crowd, no doubt, at Soundwave 15. What do you expect from an Indeed. What do you expect from Australian audiences? Anything in particular? The Australian audiences have always delivered. They come in and they're psyched. They're happy to see Fear Factory. They sing along with the songs. They show up to the shows. So I expect, a great audience like we always have in Australia. Fantastic. I have to ask you, and it's probably a bit of a selfish question, but I've always wanted to know if you've got a particular track that you love to perform. The first thought is, Zero Signal is always a fun song to play. That song embodies everything that Fear Factory's music's about. And so we like to, that song's just fun, and the crowds love it, and, it's a lot of the fans know it from not just the Demanufacture album, but from the Mortal Kombat soundtrack. Indeed,
so,
yeah.
They remember the fight scene between, I think it was Cage and Scorpion.
Yeah. I have to ask you too, if you had unlimited resources, unlimited funds, what would be your ultimate rider for backstage?
The ultimate rider for backstage?
Yeah.
Well, as long as I get my 2 bottles of red wine, to me that's 2 bottles of red wine for me. Dino gets a case of Corona. Matt gets his case of a good local brew, and then just we're not really big on eating at the shows, but nothing really outlandish.
Yeah.
A nice shower would be nice. A really nice shower.
That'd be good. Yeah. Oh, you're very easily pleased. Look, I'm going to be speaking to Dino. I'm going to be speaking to Dino very shortly in just a few moments. What would you like to hear me ask him? Is there anything that I can ask him that you would love to hear asked?
Oh gosh, interviewing Dino. How about ask him what industrial band inspired his riffing?
Okay, terrific. That sounds great. I was hoping you weren't going to say, something that you wouldn't like put to him. So that sounds fantastic. Thank you very much indeed, Burton.
No. I know all the other details of his life. I got those answers.
Indeed. Do you have a one best live show that you've performed? Is there one that really stands out for you as being paramount?
Yeah, actually there is. First one that comes to mind was in 1999, I believe, on the Obsolete tour. And we're headlining a tour through the United States. We're playing the Roseland in New York. We're headlining. It's a sold-out show of 3,000 people. I come on stage, and we have the big Fear Factory backdrop, and there's 3,000 people. And I walk in, and I love New York City, so I walk out, and I look at the crowd, and it's so overwhelming. The music starts, the crowd goes sick, insane. And just that moment was so overwhelming. I had to turn around and really catch my breath because I was about to about to cry. I was like, oh my God, this is fucking unbelievable. I had to really compose myself and turn around and just hit it home.
Wow, what a magnificent experience.
Yeah, I still feel that overwhelming experience of wow, we've made it. Here we are. It's it's just, it's even beyond words to describe. It's when something like that can bring a man to tears, in front of 3,000 people, it's just whoa. I had to turn around and just compose myself.
Oh, brilliant. Thank you very much for that insight, Burton. It really is appreciated. And I hope we can replicate something like that. I hope we can replicate that for you at Soundwave 15.
That'd be, if it happens, I'll let you know.
Terrific. One final question, if I may. I wanted to ask about your personal music influences. Is there anyone who's really driven you along throughout the years? I listen to a lot of music, and I have a lot of artists that I'm very inspired by. However, there is one artist that I really started following when I was 18, and his career, his art, his career, and everything he's done in his career has been very influential on me, and very, I'm trying to model my career path to be like his, and that's Nick Cave. Oh, really? Wow.
Yep. And I'm not just saying it because he's Australian. It's it's no secret I'm a huge Nick Cave fan. I even thanked Nick Cave on our first record for inspiration.
Brilliant.
So,
Well, I know that Australian audiences will love to hear that particularly, but again, your candour is really appreciated, and I thank you very much for that.
No problem.
Well, Burton, it's been an absolute pleasure to speak with you. Thank you again very much for your time. I'm trying not to go all fanboy on you, but the kid inside me is just leaping about, having fun. So
that's excellent, Rowan.
Congratulations again on your signing with Nuclear Blast as well, the album we just can't wait for. And we'll look forward to meeting up with you at Soundwave.
Thank you, sir. I look forward to meeting up with you too, man. Thank you for your time.
Thank you, mate. Bye-bye.